Hi, Davi here, and today we have a new episode in the Art Review series. And today we'll be checking out the work of napp. I did mention in the past episode reviewing the work of Koguru's something. I did talk about napp a little bit in that episode. How this was going to be the next episode from that episode. So now we have the work of napp here again on X. And most of the work is inline work, although they do have some pieces where they do paint the their sketches in. I do see that they do a lot of their work on the iPad. I think it's Procreate, right? Just looking at the interface, I think it's Procreate. Oh, by the way, I do like how they add this sort of tag, no upload. I think it's better here. No uploading, no AI training. I mean, a lot of artists do this on pretty much everywhere, but I like how it looks like it's part of the artwork. It's not like just written in as like a tag or like a watermark. Like it doesn't even feel like a watermark. It feels like it looks like a stamp. Like it is part of the artwork. It has the texture, even the kind of font being used. It just looks so cool. So it could be something to consider when you're doing your own like studies or artwork, right? Almost looks like a signature sometimes. Like you'll mistake it for the actual signature of the artist, right? And you can change the size too. But anyway, just looking at their inks, they do have like the artist we reviewed recently, Koguru's. They like adding those bleeds in the end for their pen strokes. It does make it look more natural, like you've done it on paper with like a fine point pen. Here we have like a fan art of Momo from the Dandadan anime. I'm not sure who this one is from, but this one has some inks. Obviously, it's a lot more textured of a pen ink compared to the work of Koguru's. But in this case, they do add some shadows. With for this specific piece, it's like a halftone thing. But that's the only other value aside from black and white. So it's like a mid value. This one's it looks like what? Jujutsu Kaisen. Oh, I do like the inks. I do see a little bit of hatching vaguely on the sides, but it's very small. And I think they're using the same brush for like smaller line for the smaller lines or for the bigger lines. I think it's the same brush. But the point is, they always have that bleed in them, right, in the ends. But I guess adding that halftone just adds a bit of like the 3D look to their work. That halftone texture right there. And it does make it very look like anime or manga-ish or comic-ish. Even though I know it's a way to save like ink when you're printing. So it's really a for print originally kind of concept, but it does transfer well to like the digital realm. Or maybe it's more of like a nostalgia thing, perhaps. But most people haven't really most people do read digital works now, but it still looks good even in digital form. All right. So this one's from Arcane, I think. I haven't seen the show, but people say it's cool, so there you go. This one's definitely from Jujutsu Kaisen. It's one of the kind of brothers of what's the main character's name? I forgot, the pink hair guy. But yeah, this one does have a lot of like watercolor textures for the rendering, but the baseline is always going to be their drawing, obviously. And when they do draw, there's always that sort of bleed. Christ, I'm forgetting the main character. I do know Nobara. She's the one with the eye patch. And I do see this a lot in manga where they have like a black villain, a very big black villain for say, I don't know, like a shadow or a piece of clothing. And then they'll paint in or draw in like white lines, right? As you can see with the shirt of the guy in the left, the main character or the guy in the center in their pants, and obviously the woman in the right. Oh shit. Which one's left? Which one's right? Ugh. Anyway, hopefully you can see what I'm saying here, but yeah. My brain's not fully functioning right now, but yeah. Oh, look at this one. I'm not sure where this one's from, but it kind of reminds me of Fujimoto a little bit, like the style of the face, who knows. But again, the inks. Oh, look at the diversity here. 3 characters, but look at how the inks were applied. The guy on the right, hopefully I'm saying it right, has a lot more shadows. The girl in the center, she does have, what do you call that? Like lacing for like the shoulders. It's like a net sort of lace thing. And then the guy on the left, there's hardly any shadows, right? You do see a bit of that pattern for his like shirt, his dress shirt. So it's nice seeing like all different ways of rendering something, right? Or inking something, sorry. Look at this. So I think this is a Hero Academia piece. So lots of fan art here. Oh, we have Friren or Frieren. Look at that. Kawaii. Right? Yeah. Oh, I do see a bit of like half-tone texture for the shadows, a little bit for the back of the hair, and even in the boots of Frieren. Look at this. I love these sorts of like shots because it's very personal, right? Like they're, I don't know, it just feels more real, more playful, more sort of a slice of life, right? Here we have two values, pretty much like, well, three for the most part. We have like black, white, and then we have two grays. We have a warm gray and a cool gray, I think. I think for the guy who's laying down, the gray for their jacket is a bit more cool than, say, the grays everywhere else where it's a bit more warm. Huh. Interesting. Oh yeah, in a way it helps the character pop out even more and separate it from the other grays, right? And even the gray for Nobara's hair, the woman with the eye patch, it's a bit darker than the background, although it's still warm. So that's interesting. I've never really thought of like playing around with different kinds of grays in like one image. Like I would assume for like one sort of shot or image, you would just pick either a warm or a cool for the grays. So I don't know. But then again, there's no color here, so it kind of makes sense maybe. I don't know. Again, Hero Academia, I believe. Look at that. Different shots, different poses. Look at that. Oh, here we have a bit of color. Look at that. Oh. So they're shaking hands, I think, or something. And they're both crying. Interesting shot. Very dynamic too. So I think both of the guys, like Koguru's in the last episode and Napp and APP right now, they do like to really push the perspective sometimes. Oh, look at this one. So this is the original sketch, right? It's a pencil sketch. So this is how rough it does look in the beginning, and then they do the coloring. Oh, I do think they have another layer. Like after this sort of rough draft, they'll do another, like you can still see the more finished line work here. And the pen they're using is more of a pencil where it feels more graphite than, say, an ink, a full sort of black ink. And I think this does blend a little better with the colors. Like it doesn't overwhelm it. Like it's not taking over the colors. Because sometimes when you render or color something while the inks are still there, like sometimes the inks can take too much of the attention, and sometimes you'll feel like the colors are kind of unnecessary. So I think this is a good sort of balance to have, right? Where the line work is a bit light, it's not taking too much attention. Look at this. So again, Jujutsu Kaisen, perhaps? I think so. Look, oh. And I think you'll be able to draw a lot if you just focus on topics you actually personally enjoy. Right? So if you're into like a specific show, then just keep drawing that thing. You know, you don't have to always be like original, right? And, you know, draw what you want. Look at this. I think it's Hero Academia, perhaps. Oh, this one's more of a rougher sketch of Sukuna, right? Ooh. Zaddy. Okay, stop. Look at this. Oh, look at, oh. So here we have Gojo. We have like three of them as students, I believe. I forgot the other guy. The one with black hair. And also the teacher or the future teacher or nurse, kind of nurse in the middle. Look at that. I do like it. Well, I love like the square sort of like frame surrounding the whole piece. It almost looks like an architectural sketch, right? Or an urban sketch. Pretty cool. I'm not sure what app this is. It looks a lot. Or it looks like it's quite complicated, but look at that. Oh, we have a colored piece here. It's Nobara, and who's the chick? She's the one like she can't see the freaking creatures or spirits. So she needs like special glasses. But she's like, but to compensate, she's been given this gift of like super physical like strength, almost like the dad of, God, I forgot the guy's name, Toji. She's similar to Toji in terms of like strength. And I think those scars are burns, or yeah, because she was like burned by this mountain, Mount Fuji, I believe. I'm so glad Nobara survived. Even though in the anime she's dead, but she does like she's not dead basically in the manga. So I'm very happy that she's alive. Because that made me so sad when I saw the anime, that episode. I just felt really bad and I did not feel good. This one they have like a watercolor sort of painting in the background. But again, when they do this kind of thing, this kind of rendering coloring, they're not using heavy inks. It's almost like a pencil, right? And I've noticed it is a bit rougher a little bit. I don't know. And maybe there's a bit of texture in those like pencil strokes, right? But again, it's very minimal. It's not as strong. The colors do dominate. So even if you zoom out, it doesn't. For example, if you just look at the thumbnail version here, it's you can't really. It's hard to see the lines, right? Oh, we have some nice clouds here. Oh, another shot of the three besties, right? Look at that. Oh, we have the Nobara Zenin. I don't know. I think it's from the Zenin something. I'm still forgetting the guy on the right, the main character actually, who's kind of hosting Sukuna, who's the other kind of like is it a demon within him or something? But yeah, a lot more variation, I guess. Although they still like focusing a lot on ink drawings here, right? So this is the the kind of brother of the main character. I'm not sure how that works, but or what's the full explanation, but of course, classic Nobara with the inks or with her hammer, right? So hot. Freaking hot, right? And I like how the drawings are they can be scattered sometimes, right? And they're not always drawing like a full piece. There's a bit more diversity with how they sketch, right? So I do see a lot more experimentation in their work. But the consistent thing here is their ink sort of drawings or sketches. They will dabble here and there, but they do rely or fall back on these kinds of drawings here. Look at that. Oh, kind of hot. Those earrings are pretty hot. So that's it for this art review of napp. I do hope you enjoyed the work. And I think they are very similar in a way to the artists I reviewed recently, Koguru's. So yeah, lots of fan art here. I do like. Oh, this one does have some color. Yeah, so that's it for this art review, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.